Would you buy a house if your insurance company might not insure it? Because this one hidden issue can delay closings, scare off buyers, and absolutely destroy your timeline on a flip. And I've seen other investors learn this lesson the hard way. Let's go see how this investor is handling the issue. My name is Tony. This is Run the Comps. Here we go. A while back, I actually covered this topic in another video about an investor flip where the investor decided not to address the aluminum wiring during the rehab. There were insurance issues, marketability problems, and the buyers got nervous when it was discovered during their inspection that the home had aluminum wiring in the branch circuits. Ultimately, that investor was forced to retrofit the home with a lesser preferred resolve in order to complete the resale. In the end, it cost the investor thousands of dollars in repairs and added hold time, wiping out a huge portion of their profits. But upon discovery of aluminum wiring at this flip, this investor decided to take a different approach. He decided to address the aluminum wiring during the rehab process instead of pushing the problem to the next buyer. And honestly, that decision can save a ton of headaches and save the deal. All right, so the electrician is here today, and they're going to be switching out all of this aluminum wiring throughout the house with copper wiring. You see they've got a big roll of Romex copper wiring ready to go. And here's just an example of an outlet that was pulled out. And you can see right there, there's aluminum wiring that goes back into the branch circuits, which can be kind of a dangerous thing, can be kind of a fire hazard, and that's why a lot of insurance companies hesitate to issue a policy for homes that are equipped with aluminum wiring. All right, so I'm here with Jeff. He's the investor at this property and the lead foreman, you might say.
You got that right. The lead guy, all
Yeah.
the stress.
Yes, absolutely. So, Jeff, when and how did you discover that this house had aluminum wiring? Because it can be kind of a tricky issue to discover.
Well, I kind of discovered it a little bit too late. I didn't do all of my homework before I bought the house, and I didn't discover until after I bought the house. I was looking around and happened to discover the aluminum wiring and realized I might have a problem here.
Uh-oh. Okay, so what led to your decision to go ahead and address it sooner than later?
Well, for me, there were two factors. Of course, there's always a money decision involved.
Right.
And then also there was a stressor factor involved for me.
Okay.
And so I did a lot of research, and I realized that in order to change out all of the aluminum wiring to pigtail to copper, which is a proper way of doing things,
Right.
It would cost almost as much money to do that as to just rewire the entire house to copper, which would give me 100% peace of mind. When you go to sell the property, then you feel very confident about your inspections, and you're not going to lose a buyer. To me, this is a top dollar house. I'm going to try to get $750,000. So for me, that's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that everything is spot on, try to get top dollar. And that's one of those decisions that I made.
So bottom line, you just want to do it right, and you want to do it up front and get it done right.
Yeah, because if you don't do it right and you have problems with the inspection, then they're going to tattoo you with this, that, and the other, and they want it done exactly the way they want it done. They bring in, all kinds of, you got the city to deal with. You got,
oh my goodness, yeah.
You just have more issues and more problems. If you do it now, much easier, peace of mind.
It's additional cost, additional hold time,
Yes.
additional headaches that you're trying to avoid here.
Exactly. That's
All
correct, Tony.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks. So some of the takeaways from today's property visit is that aluminum wiring isn't always a deal killer. Folks who don't understand the issue often hear aluminum wiring and immediately panic. But the real question is whether or not it's been properly addressed. Now, financing and insurance matter more than investors think. Even if the house looks beautiful cosmetically, buyers still need financing and insurance. And aluminum wiring can be problematic for both of those parties in the transaction. Now, something that we already know is that hold time kills profits. One of the biggest mistakes investors make is underestimating the carry costs. Taxes, utilities, insurance, interest payments, all of those things. If the house sits because buyers or insurers get uncomfortable with the deal, your profit starts shrinking every single month. Sometimes when you're working on these flip properties, the expensive fix is the smart fix, like Jeff explained to you earlier. Addressing these issues up front may hurt a little bit today, but it can make the property easier to sell, easier to insure, and easier to get the deal closed. Experienced investors solve problems early, and the best investors don't just renovate what you could see. They solve the hidden problems too. This is the kind of stuff that separates experienced investors from the people who just watch HGTV. Real estate investing is about managing risk, and hidden issues like this are where deals are won or lost. If you want more real-world walkthroughs and lessons from actual rehab projects, make sure you're following Run the Comps. For today, I'm Tony, this is Run the Comps, and I'm out.